Hi there. It's Friday, July 3rd, maybe? 2nd, 3rd, 4th? 3rd, I think. Yeah, I think it's 3rd at least. Anyway, I'm here in my patch next to the 1504s, which I'm right in front of. They're 5 feet long right now, and they've got some nice secondaries going. So it's going to be a really hard choice to decide which one will be the keeper, but I'm going to have to decide soon. They're starting to grow into each other. So here they are. One on my left was the one planted backwards. Ooh, here's the main vine tip. They're doing 4 inches a day right now. This skewer right there is where it was yesterday. Here it is today. I'm going to probably flip this just to the other side so it doesn't the tendril doesn't get caught or anything. So it's growing real fast. But I'm hoping for even quicker speeds. And here's the other one. So they're both growing the right way, even though one was planted backwards. This one I'm not measuring because it's keeping up with the other one. I don't know why this leaf is shaped so goofily. I don't know. It's kind of like starting to get more flat. I'm not sure if there's something wrong with it or if it's just going to recover. And another thing I noticed was, I don't know where we can see it, but there's like intervenial chlorosis on here. A magnesium deficiency. I still have to do the soil test, and I am going to spray with Epsom salts probably. But the next leaves here don't have it. I don't know, maybe it's just a bad leaf, but anyway, when I buried the nodes, which you can see, I'm just going to show you right here as an example, I only half bury them. So I only use the root on the bottom. I don't think you need the one on the top. But I mixed in some micronutrients and macronutrients in here, or macronutrients, however you pronounce it. There you can see the nice secondary coming out. But in any case, I did measure the internode structure. So between this leaf node here on the left side and that one there on the right side, on which there are secondaries coming out on both, it's 4 inches. So if I get a 12 for pollination, that's 30 secondaries behind it approximately, because I didn't really have the ones in the beginning for some reason. And here I can see some that are more developed, and then I'll show you the most developed ones at the front, where the leaves are a little yellow because that's where I had the nutrient deficiencies in the beginning. We'll go to the front. Here we are now in the front. I just have these walking boards right there where I step on so I don't compact the soil. I must admit this one is probably way too small. The other ones are bigger, but here they are. So I didn't know there are all these secondaries here. Anyway, there's a secondary coming out there. There's a real big one coming out there, and they're coming out everywhere. So the ones in the very beginning were very stunted with a nutrient deficiency, but they're coming back now. So the most advanced ones are probably around here, sort of midway, 2.5 feet out maybe. There they are. And I'm not sure, oh no, that's the main vine growing tip. For a moment I thought that was the secondary growing tip. For a moment I thought it was a tertiary. Plant with the biggest secondary is probably this one here, which was planted right way around. Secondary is probably 6 inches long maybe. But they're growing pretty well, maybe 1 inch or 2 a day. There are these little leaves everywhere. I don't know why the secondaries have little leaves. Maybe the leaves are going to get bigger, or at least I hope. That looks like they're the secondary leaves are pretty bigger. This one has a very thin stump, so there's my finger, so it's not so big. This one, on the other hand, has quite a big stump. It's not huge, but I think it'll continue to grow. I'm not sure if that oranging on there is rot or not, but it's still all dry and not soft. So I don't think so, but we'll just sort of see. If anything happens, then we'll just put sulfur powder on it. But the good news is it's dry around the stump, so it should be fine, or at least I hope it is. But it's it's been really hot the last days. So I didn't know if there were all these weeds here, but it's temperature was in the 30s, but then with the humidity combined, the humidex was like in the 40s Celsius, not Fahrenheit, or the plants would probably not be around. Sorry about that, I'm just weeding. There the plants are growing pretty big. What the heck? What is this weird insect in here? It's making a racket. I don't know what that is. Whatever, I'll just let it sort of come out. All right, it's out. But here are the plants. They're doing 4 inches a day. I'm hoping for a pollination by the end of July. Moving along, we're going to the 1310s, and then I have something else to show you as well. All right, so these are the 1310s. There's potentially something wrong with them, but this plant, sorry about that, the insect netting. This plant is like growing the absolute wrong way. It's growing backwards, even though I planted it the right way around. So I think I'm gonna end up cutting it. And the other one is growing still the right way, which I'm happy about. It's in the front there, but it's like, just doesn't want to grow fast for some reason. Why, I don't know. Ask the plant, will ya? But in there, I guess the main vine growing tip is here. And this skewer is where it was like days ago. So I'm not exactly sure. There's potentially something wrong with it. Maybe the other one I will end up sort of curving around. Now moving along, I just wanted to show you my irrigation. So I have these push-to-fit emitters on the 1/4 inch tubing. They just sort of turn, change the water flow. I've got the 2 main lines. And then I've got this valve here coming off the main line, so I can just like turn it on or off depending if I want, depending what I want. See that valve there? And then I can basically just turn the water supply on the specific lines on or off with those valves. And the green thing there's the emitter. All right. So I think this is where I'm going to end this video today. Oh, no, I'm not going to end it here. I've got some more interesting things to show. Right, my node burying. I just sort of brushed on it a little before, but I just wanted to like really tell you how I did it. So there's a note. I basically mixed together mycorrhiza, soil, bacillus or bacillus bacteria, however you pronounce that. Did everybody see mycorrhiza? And then this fertilizer, which I'm reaching for right now, is Bionic 419 with micronutrients, because the tissue analysis or whatever you called it showed that it was deficient, and I need to add that. So I just sort of put those by nodes because it's supposed to be where the roots come into the soil. And then I just sort of lay it on top. And I take the soil and I sort of put a little like there, just sort of press it against the node. And like this one here, it's gonna lay down. It's just because it's very close to the front. But like that one right there, for instance, that one's nicely in the soil, and the root should pop down. Yeah, another thing, it's my 1776. I planted it. I'll show you it. It's just in this old patch here. It's just like where the manure was. Cucumber beetle bites everywhere. I don't know why. He's so light green yellowish. It was the ribbon vine, if you remember my previous videos, and then it sort of split up into like, I guess, a regular vine into 2 regular vines, but it was sort of like a 4 ribbon vine. Somehow 2 of the vines sort of like went away. It used to be 4 leaves coming out at once, then just like 2 went away, and then it split it. And then it like split into the 2 here. I don't know. Maybe I don't know how it worked. I don't know. Something weird happened though, and it's not a ribbon vine anymore. It's now 2 main vines. In any case, there's the main vine too. This one's a lot younger. It's a 1776. I don't know why it's doing this. Maybe because this was just like manure, horse manure or something. Maybe it's too hot. But whatever, if it doesn't take it, it's a backup anyway. There's not much I can do. It was just there, and it's the only place I had to plant it. So I planted it. All right, I think I'm gonna end it here. Real hot here. I'm gonna do some weeding, then I'm gonna go. So I'll see you soon. Goodbye.